I was really confused and stuck on how I wanted to start this video. I was staring at an empty screen trying to write a script for this topic, and I just could not think of anything. Then I had the bright idea. Wow. Then I had the bright idea of asking one of my friends how I should start it off. This is what they said, word for word. Hobbies? In this economy? Everything is too expensive to even start one. Want to play an instrument? Pay hundreds of dollars out of pocket for something you have no idea how to play, and spend even more money on tutors or classes, let alone the countless hours of practice. Want to exercise? Unless you're only willing to walk or run, you've got the price of gym memberships or home equipment. Want to do art? You think this would be free, but to be considered a great artist, it takes loads of time learning, which is basically money. Everywhere you look, hobbies will cost you either a lot of time learning something or a lot of money to sink into something you may not like. So, where exactly do you even start? Wow. Okay. Their words, not mine. But let's be real. It's not the simplest thing to be able to find a hobby that really suits you. It takes a lot of time and effort to find something that you. What? I just messed up my whole script. It takes a lot of time and effort to find something that you are good at that allows you to sit down and unwind whilst also being productive. Some people are fantastic artists, but it's not like they were like that at what? Some people are fantastic artists, but it's not like they were like that at birth. They practiced for years and were either taught by professionals or maybe even taught themselves. But that requires time, something that not everyone has. People work or go to school, which really diminishes the time they can use to practice. Although this is a very obvious issue, it allows for people to practice another thing, which is time management. Now, again, let's be real. This is something that you learn in grade school. It's as simple as setting a time for one thing and being able to figure out a good time for the other. Simpleness aside, this isn't easy for everyone. Sometimes things happen that you could never plan for, as it was out of nowhere. So they have to change up their whole schedule, putting things in different spots that could fit that random event so that they can fix their schedule. But even with this, time management is helpful. People are able to take a second to move things around and still fit everything with no issue. Now, the only thing that could pose to be a problem for someone is themselves. Now, I mean, that could go for a lot of things. Sometimes the only problem is yourself. I I don't know what I'm talking about. Here's an example. I planned on working on this script one night, and instead of taking the time to work on it and fully write it out as I should have, I played a game for about 3.5 hours. Fun game, by the way. Just want to point that out. In other words, I am an absolutely terrible. Is that? In other words, I am a procrastinator. I wait till either the second to last day or just the last day to work on something when I could have been done hours or even days ago. And a great example for this could be school, as I wait until the last day to get something done. That's just something I did, but I passed, so it doesn't matter. But that is exactly why I want to do content creation. It's why I want to pursue content creation. As I've said in my last video, this is a hobby that I've wanted to do for years, but I never got around to actually doing it because I thought I needed all this expensive equipment and all this expensive crap that I just we never have the money for because it's unnecessary and it's not something I would need while I'm in my freshman year of high school. Even though some content creators were able to start when they were 18, well, I mean, some started while they were in their college dorm. But I've realized now that I don't need much at all because I mean, I believe I can do a lot with what I have. Obviously, at some point, I want to be able to make more quality content, but that will take time. And that's time that I'm willing to take as a long, wow. And that's time I'm willing to take as long as it means I get to pursue something that I love and have loved for years. Obviously, I'm the one who's making the script, with the exception of the friend that I got a starting point from. Thank you to them. I know you're watching. I know where you live. Recording the audio. Wait, what? Obviously, I'm the one who's making the script, recording the audio, and editing the video, but I don't think I can do any of this without you as the viewer. I'm hoping I can bring you content that you might like and you might, maybe want to share, you know? You know what I'm saying? Sorry. I'm hoping I can do this and have many of you with me as I go on this hopefully big journey that I've been wanting to do. And as for a hobby for you, it's okay to take your time and to go at your own pace. Even if you have work or school or something that might be taking up time to practice that hobby, there's always time for things. What? There is always time for what? There's always the time for you to practice and there's always the time for you to practice and work on what you want to do as a hobby. There's no limit. The only limit is yourself. That's so corny. As long as you're willing to put in the effort, you can do almost anything. I wrote in my script that you can do anything, you can do almost anything. There are some things you probably can't do. I've always heard anything's possible, but is it really possible to jump off a cliff and survive without a parachute? Like, come on. This was just something I wanted to talk about. I was going to talk about a specific hobby I have, but I don't have any hobby, and because I was going to talk about a specific hobby I have, but the only two hobbies I have are being terrible at video games and bed rotting. Bed rotting part is something I want to stop, but you know, if Jesus Christ, if you watched up until this point, I didn't really do anything entertaining, but I hope you enjoyed either way. If you for some reason did, then a like would be very appreciated. I'll be having my other social accounts in the description. That's my Instagram and TikTok. If you want to check those out, again, those are, as of right now, those are just random posts that are interesting posts. But if you want to check those out, then you are free to. They will be in the description. As for my upload schedule, I am hoping to upload weekly, but I will have to see. The only thing that is really holding me back are having ideas and how I want to word my script. How I want to word my scripts. Besides that, I think I've got this in the bag. Another thing that might stop weekly uploads is what I'm doing because I think first week of June I'll be at the beach, so I will not be able to upload then. But besides that, only the future can tell. Yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.